What's up, everybody? Welcome to Keeping It 9450, Codename WBB. I'm Daniel Artest. I got KDot with me, and we are back. The WNBA season is here. This is Training Ground, man. This is a special 12-part series we're going to have. We're just going to do quick podcasts, talk about all the teams. And so this is episode number 1 of 12 in the series. KDot, man, what's going on with you, brother? How you been, man?
Hey, yo, what up? What it is? What's popping? Everything's all good. I'm just excited to just talk about what's going on with the WNBA and training camp and officially kicking off Training Ground, the ins and outs of training camp and all of the teams and how they're getting themselves together to ramp up the WNBA season for 2023. So it's going to be a good one.
Yes, sir. It's definitely going to be a good one, man. Always a good talking WNBA with you, women's basketball with you and everything. So we're going to start off real quick with the Atlanta Dream, man. We're going to do it in alphabetical order. We're going to talk about the Atlanta Dream and KDot, man. The Atlanta Dream, like we're just going to do this deep dive about them. They're one of the most exciting teams in the WNBA right now. They have a new era of basketball upon them. I think their future looks bright, very promising, and we're going to break it down real quick. So let's talk about Atlanta. They struggled last year. They missed the playoffs. They had a top 5 defense, but offensively, they really struggled. I think they had high turnover rate. Their offensive rating was very low, and shooting percentage was low as well. And it's crazy though, because a lot of other teams had worse defenses, but they also made it to the playoffs. So let's talk about that real quick about the Atlanta Dream and why they missed the playoffs, in your opinion.
Yeah, so partly was everything from a rebuild, retool type standpoint last year. Atlanta just had to go through a brand new head coach, a brand new GM. They came in from that Las Vegas Aces organization, and they did an incredible job last year in regards to what the roster makeup looked like, in regards to who they drafted number 1 overall and getting Rhyne Howard, who was, of course, the WNBA Rookie of the Year. I think that last year was just like a feel primer type experience, which they actually were 1 game away from making the playoffs. Unfortunately, that last loss to the New York Liberty hurt them a lot. And after honestly being in the playoff hunt all season long last year, they did an incredible job. And Coach Tanisha Wright, you have to give credit to her, because for her to come in her first year and do what she was able to do with the roster that she had, it was incredible. And Rhyne Howard did also an incredible job in her rookie season. So looking forward to this season, part of the reason why I think that last year didn't occur, or the goal of making the playoffs didn't occur, was just the youth factor, right? Tanisha Wright, a youth from a head coaching standpoint, her first time being in the first chair. And then also with the roster, having a leader in Rhyne Howard being a rookie. Of course, you did have Cheyenne Parker as a true veteran. You had Erie McDonald coming in I believe it was her second year, coming in and doing really good thing for the Atlanta Dream. But it was just the youth factor. And then not to mention having a lot of players in and out of the lineup, just not really being able to continue that gel after the All-Star break. And that's what happens when growing pains occur. I think that's the primary reason why they weren't able to get over the hump and actually make the playoffs. But this year, I do believe that this year they're going to make a gigantic leap, and we'll just dig just a little bit more into it before we end the show. So let's just dive right into it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so the Atlanta Dream, they got a lot of reinforcements this off season. Let's talk about Alicia Gray, her scoring abilities, her defensive abilities with this Atlanta Dream team. We love gold medal Alicia over here. I think that she's a very versatile player, a great team player, a great leader in the locker room as well. I think that with Atlanta, with her and Rhyne Howard on the perimeter, obviously we're going to get into Laeticia Amihere and Haley Jones too as well. But like them two, those established players in this league right now, man, I think that they're going to cause a lot of terror on that perimeter, bro.
Yeah, I definitely agree. In regards to that line, when the announcement of Alicia Gray was announced from a trade standpoint, the first thing that I thought about was Deanna Nolan and Swin Cash of those Detroit Shock teams. when you have a dynamic in Rhyne Howard and Alicia Gray on the perimeter who can actually defend and who can make plays and who can shoot, you have those two, which are one and the same. And I believe that their games will complement each other. You have a relentless defender in Alicia Gray, who has been proven over and over again that her perimeter defense has stifled a lot of great perimeter offense, right? And then you turn around and you have Rhyne Howard, who is just I would say, a Super Saiyan utility player, right? Sometimes we have utility players that just get the job done no matter what you do. But when you have a superstar utility player like a Rhyne Howard, it's just endless on whatever possibilities that may happen. And when you mesh a Super Saiyan utility player in Rhyne Howard and in a player like Alicia Gray, who has a lot of the same mold as Rhyne Howard, that is going to be very interesting to watch, because me personally, as a basketball person, that's very much trouble on the offensive and defensive end for opponents. So I think that those two have a really bright future together. And like I said earlier with the comparison, if you put Deanna Nolan and Swing Cash, that type of mold, into Rhyne Howard and Alicia Gray, it's going to be a lot of success that can come behind that.
I agree. There's going to be problems on the wing this year for the opponents of the Atlanta Dream. You have them, you think really high of them. I can't wait till we get to our prediction on how they're going to do this season. I just definitely want to hear your opinion on it and everything. But we also got to talk about the rookies, man. Haley Jones and Laeticia Amihere, their development. Like, we already dove in during our drafting. Think that Haley Jones is going to definitely be a net positive for the Dream because of what she can do. Obviously, they talk about the jump shot and stuff, but like I said before, like, Haley Jones can get it up the glass, can take it downhill or hit you with the hit-ahead pass to create scoring opportunities in transition. She can defend. She's one of those jack of all trades, man, and a master of none, but just really great at everything. And as far as Laeticia Amihere, I think that, like, her potential is more raw, but I do think she has the biggest upside in the draft if Coach Tanisha Wright can develop her. I think that Laeticia Amihere, she's going to be such a bright light for the Dream in the future. Can she contribute now? I do think that she can contribute now, definitely coming off the bench, but I think the Amihere pick is more so definitely for the future and everything. When you got somebody, like I said in the post-draft show that we did, somebody that can get you a bucket, get you a rebound, get you an assist, get you a block and a steal. Like, her skill set at that size, the way she just go get it, I have nothing but high hopes for her, man. What's your thoughts on those two rookies right there?
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said in that post-draft show that we did, the absolute steal, in my opinion, of the draft was Haley Jones going to Atlanta, and unfortunately dropping, because I personally believe that she was top 3 no matter what. But it was a blessing for the Atlanta Dream to actually get Haley Jones at that spot and then turn around and get Laeticia Amihere right after that. It was just incredible. We can talk about versatility, right? And I truly believe that this Atlanta Dream squad has all of the versatility that you can name. When you have someone in Haley Jones who, just like you said, a jack of all trades, master of some. I wouldn't say master of none, but master of some, because trust and believe, she can score the ball. She can really score the ball. You probably didn't see it her last 2 years at Stanford, but she can indeed score the basketball. But again, when you're able to have a 6'2" frame who can grab the rebound off the defensive end and just run the break, and also understand the secondary offense that you can run with that versatility, having Ryan on one wing, having Alicia Gray on the other wing, having Cheyenne Parker rim run, and also just having other scorers like a Danielle Robinson, even a Ari McDonald, and also another rim runner in Naz Hillman, who came into herself at the end of the season last year and did an incredible job at AU, which we'll, of course, get into in a later show. But I just believe that with the versatility surrounding this team, this is going to be a really good team. And there's going to be a lot of trouble for other opposing teams that will get crossed in a cross match between all of these players that the Atlanta Dream have. And Tanisha Wright actually did an incredible job in her offensive schemes. Again, it was just more so youth that just got in the way that didn't get them over the hump for the playoffs. So I think it's going to be a real scary time in Atlanta. And the way that Atlanta Dream fans are, there's going to be sold out crowds day in and day out.
Yeah, KDot, we got to get our tickets, man. You know what I'm saying? So we can definitely go check them out in person. I heard the atmosphere is elite and stuff. And speaking of Tanisha Wright, remember I had her as coach of the year, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Like, she changed the culture of that team. And also another thing that I want to point out too as well, when we was talking about how Haley Jones can get it off the glass, get downhill, get it out to the wings, and just always making the right decision. Remember, she could also run the floor herself. Like,
absolutely.
Her basketball IQ and filling in those lanes is really elite and stuff. Like, really big fan of this team right here, man. The way you just broke it down. And of course, with Cheyenne Parker doing the rim running thing, always just being a presence in the post. Naz Hillman is definitely on the list. You know what I'm saying? Definitely on the list. She had a great AU run this past winter. So definitely looking forward to seeing how she does in her second year. Also, let's talk about more of the development of the Atlanta Dream. Like, just basically Rhyne Howard, Naz Hillman, and Erin McDonald. But Erin McDonald, I think that she's going to have a great year this year. Now that as a point guard, every time you get better, when that game slows down for you as a point guard, I know that you're a point guard yourself, you know, when you advance in your seasons and everything, I think that Erin is going to have the best year yet, man. I really do. Like, she's a special talent, somebody that's quick, can defend like crazy, can shoot that thing. And I think that now that she's getting more confidence, she got the trust of the coach. And I think that we're going to get that Arizona version of Erin McDonald this year, man. That's the one. That's the player that I want to see. The one that went on that NCAA tournament run, that confidence, if you know what I'm saying. And as far as like Rhyne Howard, she's just so freaking good, KDot. My whole thing with Rhyne, I want to see her have a borderline MVP season this year. That's exactly what I want to see. And with Naz Hillman, I just want to see her continue to improve, continue to get better, see her have her work on that jumper a little bit more. I just want to see improvement from these three. I know that they can definitely take the leap. What's your thoughts on them?
Yeah, so as far as the development and the players that you mentioned, like, even after you talked about Erin McDonald and how she was able to develop her first 2 years in Atlanta, imagine having to have an offensive scheme to go against when you have Erin McDonald guarding you, when you have Rhyne Howard guarding you, when you have Alicia Gray guarding you. Those are that's the backcourt. And I know Alicia Gray and Rhyne Howard, they'll interchange and alternate between the backcourt and the front court, but that's tough. That's truly tough. When you have Erin at the 1, switching between Rhyne Howard and Alicia Gray at the 2 and the 3, and then not to mention the veteran and Daniel Robinson, which more than likely that's going to be the player who starts. And I think Erin would come off the bench because she did an incredible job coming off the bench last year. And she's going to be my sleeper for 6th Woman of the Year as well. I truly think that because of that development that you talked about, is going to be an incredible sight to see. And that's why I personally have them jumping all the way from not only making the playoffs this year, but actually doing some damage and could possibly be a top 4 team this year, in my opinion, only because of what they have on that roster, the development of the players, as you mentioned, and then hopefully within training camp, if the final roster is set, a sleeper roster pick in Elena Coates would be truly special for Atlanta, and having that backup role with herself, Cheyenne Parker, and Monique Billings. That's going to be something that's going to be really important as well. So that's why I truly have them making a gigantic leap in regards to their spots, if you will, within the WNBA power rankings.
All right, cool. I think that they're going to have a great season too as well. I cannot wait to see it. I do agree with you on their top 4 finish. I think they could definitely do it. When you're looking at this roster and you're looking at who's going to stay and who's going to be in the rotation, you can definitely see them making a lot of noise. There's a lot of potential with this Atlanta Dream roster. But let's get on out of here, man. Episode 1 of Training Ground is done for 9450, codename WBB. Don't forget to follow us at the 9450 on Twitter. I'm about to say I'm KDot. You know what? I'm KDot for this episode. That's DA right there. All right. Love is love. Peace.
Peace out.